Okay, everyone, Jai Baba, this is our Tween Sahavas. And oh my goodness, I just realized my battery is really low. But welcome, everyone, to our third year. I'm really excited that we're all back here. I see Shireen, Meher, Shrinika, and Srinidhi. I think there are going to be some new folks joining us today. I have definitely shared some information, and it's good to see everyone. I hope everyone had a good summer. And then, we have Bobby Bernstein and Joe Stewart here. I think Kathy will also be joining us today to go over some of the things. But as always, I'd like for us to start off with prayers. So if somebody wants to, hang on one second. I don't remember where share screen is. Oh, right here. I look like I'm a little rustic now. It's been a while. It's been 3 months since I've gone back to Zoom. So if you guys want to start with the prayers, Srinidhi, would you like to start?
Sure.
Thank you.
O Parvatikar, the preserver and protector of all, you are without beginning and without end, non-dual, beyond comparison, and none can measure you. You are without color, without expression, without form, and without attributes. You are unlimited and unfathomable, beyond imagination and conception. You are eternal and imperishable. You are invisible, and none can see you but with eyes divine. You always were, you always are, and always will be. You are everywhere. You are in everything. You are also beyond everywhere and beyond everything. You are in the firmament and in the depths. You are manifest and unmanifest, on all planes and beyond all planes. You are in the three worlds and also beyond the three worlds. You are imperceptible and independent. You are the creator of lords, the knower of all minds and hearts. You are omnipotent and omnipresent. You are knowledge infinite, power infinite, and bliss infinite. You are the ocean of knowledge, all-knowing, infinitely knowing, the knower of the past, the present, and the future. You are knowledge itself. You are all-merciful and eternally benevolent. You are souls of souls, one with infinite attributes. You are the trinity of truth, knowledge, and bliss. You are the source of truth, the ocean of love. You are the ancient one, the highest of the high. You are Prabhu and Parameshwar. You are the beyond God and beyond God also. You are Parat Brahma, Allah, Ilahi, Yazdan, our Mazda, and God the Beloved. You are named Izzat, the only one worthy of worship.
Thank you, Srinidhi. Shireen or Meher, would you guys like to say the prayer of repentance?
We repent, O God, most merciful, for all our sins, for every thought that was false or unjust or unclean, for every word spoken that ought not to have been spoken, for every deed done that ought not to have been done. We repent for every deed and word and thought inspired by selfishness, and for every deed and word and thought inspired by hatred. We repent more especially for every lustful thought and every lustful action, for every lie, for all hypocrisy, for every promise given but not fulfilled, and for all slander and backbiting. Most especially also, we repent for every action that has brought ruin to others, for every word and deed that has given others pain, and for every wish the pain to befall others. In your unbounded mercy, we ask you to forgive us, O God, for all these sins committed by us. Forgive us for constant failure to think and speak and act according to your will.
You're muted.
Oh, sorry. I was asking Sahana to say the beloved God. Can you say it? Sorry. Guys, one of you want to say the beloved God prayer so we can get the program started?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Beloved God, help us all to live more and more and more and still yet more till we become the worthy of union with you, and help us all to fast the Baba Zam until the very end. I'm your Baba DJ.
Thank you. Okay, so as you guys can see, we have some guests here, and I would like to give you guys the opportunity, bless you, to be able to introduce you guys to each other. And Shireen and Meher, since you guys just finished saying the prayers, maybe we can start with you. And I would like, everyone, if we can just have the video on, it'll be nice, at least for some moments, so that, when you're talking to one another, you can see each other's faces.
Can you stop sharing your screen?
Yes, I shall. There we go. Okay,
Hi,
so
I'm Shireen.
go ahead, Shireen.
Yeah. I'm Shireen. This is Meher. I'm 16 years old, and I'm a junior in high school. And I live in Connecticut. I am 12 years old. I'm in 7th grade currently, and I am in Connecticut.
All right, go ahead, Srinidhi.
Hi, my name is Trinity. I live in Colorado. I'm in 8th grade and 13 years old. I play the flute, piano, and vina.
My name is Shrenika, and I'm in 2nd grade. I'm 7 years old, and I play the violin. My favorite color is sea green.
Ooh, nice. Okay, Sahana, you're the only one left. Could you please turn on your video? Thank you.
Okay. I don't know why I have a background. Sorry about that. Let me just turn that off. I don't know why. I think
It's okay. Don't worry about your background. This is Sahana, and she lives next door to me.
So,
meaning literally in the next room. She's one of mine. All right, Sahana, could you just keep it in one place and introduce yourself?
I'm Sahana. I'm 12 years old.
Where do you live?
I live in my house. And I live in New Jersey. And yeah, I have a dog. He's right there. He's actually eating your plants.
Okay, well, thank you. So these are some of our kids. Like I said, I don't know if, who all are joining today. Sana, yes, you have a question?
Well, I mean, I do play an instrument, but I used to play percussion, but now I want to switch to clarinet. But I have to find a way to switch, so.
Awesome. You guys already, my name is Shilpa, and I've been facilitating this Zoom sessions for the last 3 years now with Shailaja and some of our kids, and who is Shireen and Meher's mom. So welcome, everyone. Bobby, if you want to maybe quickly give an introduction about yourself, and like maybe we'll move to Joe and then the rest here.
Sure, as long as I don't have to give my age, I'll tell.
Notice I skipped that.
I'm Bobby Bernstein, and I live now in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I'm originally from New Jersey, Union, and then I lived up in upstate New York for many years now, and I've been here since '85. And I'm here because I was very fortunate to spend time with Darwin, to go to his meetings, many, in the early days. And so I'm looking forward to sharing a little bit about Sahaj Dion and a song.
Thank you, Bobby. Joe? Jai Baba.
Hey, Baba. My name is Joe Stewart. I live in Western New York in a place called Orchard Park, which is close to Buffalo. If you know about the Buffalo Bills football team, well, that's the city that I live in. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I've lived here most of my life. And I used to attend Darwin Shaw's meetings as well in Schenectady. The Buffalo group, there was about 12 of us that used to drive down to his weekly meetings. And we became very good friends with Darwin and Jean. I play guitar and sing, and I hope to share a special song today that I put music to words of Darwin Shaw that he penned when he was with Meher Baba on Mehrabad Hill and during the 3 incredible weeks.
Thank you. Thank you, Joe. We have Shailaja Auntie, Shailaja and Amma. Do you guys want to quickly introduce yourselves?
I'm Dr. Jayashree. I'm Shilpa's mother-in-law. And then at present, I am in Pittsburgh. And whenever I come to US, I'll be with Shilpa and Narayan at New Jersey. And it is here it is my daughter's house, and we are living here now at present. I am from Hyderabad, India. I've been participating in this Shilpa's, this children's hours. Though I'm not a child, I'm very much interested in this, watching all kids and listening to them. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. I'm Sally. I live in New Jersey as well, and along with my husband Prakash and my 2 boys Harsha and Sandeep, and now my 2 daughters-in-law Simi and Kaustuba. And I also host Saturday morning Aarti on Zoom, and happy to see all my Aarti friends and my Zoom friends. Jai Baba.
Baba.
Jai Baba. All right. Last but not least, Shailaja.
Hi everyone. Jai Baba. Shailaja. I live in Connecticut. My husband Jai Simha, and with Shireen and Meher, kids. And a good friend of Shilpa. Thank you all.
Yes, she's my partner in crime. So what I wanted to do, as I had mentioned before, guys, welcome back. I hope everybody's had a really good summer, especially, the kids, I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves thoroughly. So I wanted to start off, thinking, okay, the month of September, right? What were the significant times? And honestly, actually, like in the Baba world, right? And then I always thought, well, last week was September 11th, right? And it's just, one of the greatest tragedies in our history. And I thought, well, I wonder if there's anything Baba related. And that's kind of how I got into looking into it, and come to see that, Baba's 3 incredible weeks started on September 11th. So I put some, a little blurb and information together, and we can start talking about it a little bit. And one of the things, and I'll share my screen, and I'll talk to it. But I wanted to ask the kids, how many of you guys have heard of the highest of the high declaration? Are you familiar with that at all? Sahana, you're nodding your head yes. What do you know about it? Can you share?
I only read it in a book, and I've heard it, I read, because you read some. I think you've read. I think it's somewhere in some of those books in the basement. So I just saw something, and I don't know anything about it. It's just familiar, the sound.
Okay. Has anybody else heard of it? Srinidhi, Shireen, Meher. Okay. So I wanted to share. I'm going to share my screen. I don't want to us to spend like too much time, because I think we can talk about it for sure. But this is something that, let me know if you guys can see the screen. Can you see it? Yeah. Okay. So on September 7th, 1953, Baba gave the highest of the high declaration at Dehradun, right? And I'd like one of you guys to start maybe reading it a little bit, but essentially it is 2 slides, but I think it's really important that we understand what the message is. And Bobby, Joe, anyone, please feel free to jump in at any given time. So who would like to read? All right, Shireen, you want to read?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
In the world, there are countless sadhus, Mahatmas, Mahapurushas, saints, yogis, and valis. Though the number of genuine ones is very, very limited. The few genuine ones, according to their spiritual status, in a category of their own, which is neither on a level with the ordinary human being, nor on a level with the state of the highest of the high. Should I keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. I'm neither a Mahatma nor a Mahapurush, neither a sadhu nor a saint, neither a yogi nor a wali. Those who approach me with the desire to gain wealth or to retain their possessions, those who seek to be relief from distress and suffering, those who ask my help to fulfill and satisfy mundane desires. To them, I once again declare that as I'm not a sadhu, a saint, or a Mahatma, Mahapurush, or yogi, to seek these things through me is but to court utter disappointment, though only apparently. For eventually, this disappointment is itself invariably instrumental in bringing about the complete transformation of mundane wants and dares. The sadhus, saints, yogis, walis, and such others who are on the via media, can and do perform miracles and satisfy the transient material needs of individuals who approach them for help and relief. The question therefore arises that if I'm not a sadhu, nor not a saint, not a yogi, not a Mahapurushu, nor a wali, then what am I? The natural assumption would be that I'm either just an ordinary human being or I'm the highest of the high. But one thing I say definitely, and that is that I can never be included amongst those having the intermediary status of the real sadhus, saints, yogis, and such others.
You can keep going, Shireen, if you want.
Okay. Now, if I'm just an ordinary man, my capabilities and powers are limited. I am no better or different from an ordinary human being. If people take me as such, then they should not expect any supernatural help from me in the form of miracles or spiritual guidance. And to approach me to fulfill their desires would also be absolutely futile. On the other hand, if I'm beyond that level of an ordinary human being and much beyond the level of saints and yogis, then I must be the highest of the high. In which case, to judge me with your human intellect and limited mind, and to approach me with mending desires would not only be the height of folly, but sheer ignorance as well. Because no amount of intellectual gymnastics could ever understand my ways or judge my infinite state. If I'm the highest of the high, my will is law, my wish governs the law, and my love sustains the universe. Whatever your apparent calamities and transient sufferings, there are but the outcome of my love for the ultimate good. Therefore, to approach me for deliverance from your predicaments, to expect me to satisfy your worldly desires, would be asking me to do the impossible, to undo what I've already ordained. If you truly and in all faith accept your Baba as the highest of the high, it behooves you to lay down your life at his feet, rather than to crave the fulfillment of your desires. Not your one life, but your millions of life would be but a small sacrifice to place at the feet of one such as Baba, who is the highest of the high. For Baba's unbounded love, it is the only sure and unfailing guide to lead you safely through the innumerable blind alleys of your transient life.
Thank you. So just wanted to ask, what do you guys think about that, right? Like, I just wanted to have a little bit of a discussion on it. Does it make sense to you? Do you have questions? Shireen, you read the whole thing. What did you feel while reading it? You're on mute.
He's saying that he's like not a sadhu or a saint and all that such things, but either he can be like an ordinary man or like the highest of the high, and he's telling like people to accept that he's the highest of the high. Yeah.
Okay. What about Meher? What do you think? What did you get from this whole paragraph or a whole thing that she read?
Yeah, he, like, Baba is not like, he's not like a sadhu or a sadhu. He is the highest of the high, meaning like he's the avatar. He's very different from others. And
Okay.
I think that's what he's trying.
That's what he's trying to say. What about you, Sahana? What did you think?
Sorry, I wouldn't unmute. I think it was very like powerful. But I feel like it's kind of hard to like, how do you put this? Like, I wouldn't say like, I can't think of a word for this. I can't think. Like, it's for like, maybe for like some, no, that's not how you put it.
What did you say? It's hard to hear you.
You can't hear me? Am I unmuted or muted?
No, you're unmuted, but it's kind of muffled.
Oh, okay, sorry. I had the words for it and then I lost it, but it's, okay, in my opinion, it was like powerful, but like.
Okay. What part of it do you think makes it powerful? It's a powerful statement. You're absolutely right, right? But what do you think made it powerful?
Go on the first page.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the second. It's a second paragraph first. But I had a question about that.
Okay.
I don't get it. Like, I have a question about this paragraph itself.
What do you not get?
Like, I just don't really get the entire paragraph.
This whole thing? I'm neither a Mahatma or a Mahapurush.
Yeah, who is that?
Mahatma means a great soul, or Mahapurush means somebody, Maha means great, Purush is a person. So Baba's saying he's neither like a Mahatma or a great soul or a Mahapurush, neither is he a sadhu. You know what a sadhu is, right? Those people who wear those orange clothes, or you see them in they were in the Himalayas, etc., or nor a saint or a yogi. But so essentially he's saying he's none of those, right? And if you're going towards Baba for gaining wealth or any problem, like relief from their problems, then he's saying, see, typically back in India or any other place, and please guys, anybody jump in at this point and fill in, but you would go to these sadhus or saints or Mahapurush with a desire, saying, oh, I have this problem, can you please help me overcome it, right? So that's what Baba's saying. He said, I'm not any of these, and I do not, see right here, sadhus, saints, and such others who are on this media can and do perform miracles. But Baba's saying, I'm not going to perform miracles, right? So he said, if I'm not any of these, then what am I? I'm either a human, like Shireen and Meher were saying, or I'm the highest of the high, right? Does that make sense now?
Yeah, a bit, yeah.
Okay, what about Srinidhi and Shrinika? Any thoughts?
Well, um, well, yeah, the whole speech, it's like really inspiring, and like he's telling what he is. He's not like a Mahatma, but like he's basically God, and he doesn't like just fulfill human desires that are stupid.
Okay. All right. We have Kathy here. Jai Baba Kathy, welcome. Any of you guys want to just, I'm opening it up to everyone. I think it's a great discussion. Maybe you guys can help Sahana understand this a little better. Any comments?
Well, first, this is Bobby. First of all, I thought that was beautifully read. And I could read something like that a million times, but when someone who's such a good reader reads it, I understand it even more.
Yeah.
But I think what you've all said is exactly it. That Bob was saying, I'm not an in between, one of these in betweens. I'm either an ordinary human, or I'm God. I'm the highest of the high, and so don't come to me for your everyday problems or desire. I mean, he does like us to tell us. I mean, that ironically, he does like us to share everything with him,
right?
But not to say, please, rescue me from my problems. But he's like he's the ultimate. So we're going for the gold here. With Bob. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Thank you. Anyone else wants to say anything?
You may know, this is reminding me of Preeti's, Preeti Kilnani, who works at the Baba Center.
Yeah.
And her grandmother and grandfather have a wonderful story that it's kind of reminding me of all this, that when Preeti's father Vinod's parents became interested in Baba, Vinod's dad was very drawn and went to see Baba and fell in love with Baba. And then Baba said, where is your wife? Bring your wife to the father Prem. And he says, well, she doesn't really want to come because she has her family God and she's satisfied with that. And Baba says, please, I want her to come. So the wife comes and, likes Baba very much, but she's not signing up or whatever you might want to say. And then Baba says, what are you? Are you a man or a woman? And she says, Baba, of course I'm a woman. And Baba says, how do you know you're a woman? She says, I just know. And then Baba says, well, in the same way, I know I am God. You know you're a woman. I know I am God. And then he said, do you remember when you were 5 or 6 years old? You wrote a letter. She wrote a letter. She wrote to God in heaven and she posted the letter. And she said, dear God in heaven, I want to meet you. Then she put a stamp on it and she put it in the mailbox. And she completely forgot about it, but she very sincerely wanted to meet God in heaven. And here's Baba saying to her, let's just say 40 years later, I am that God in heaven. So he told her that you wrote a letter to me and you said you wanted to meet me. And I am that God in heaven. And she had completely forgotten she had written to God in heaven, I want to meet you. So that turned her around so I guess it's just a beautiful story about how Baba is God. And there's many ways he lets us know.
Yeah, no, that is so beautiful, right? Sahana, does that help you understand? Hello?
Sorry, this touch thingy is like annoying. It does. It does. It does a bit more, yeah. I think
so essentially, I know Baba said a lot, but in a little line is essentially there's a lot of different mediums and stuff, right? Like people who can do miracles, but he's saying to what Bobby said, yes, we can tell him everything, all our problems and ask for help, but really he, I guess we don't need anybody else, right? Essentially, we just have him. Does that make sense? Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Anyone wants to contribute anything? Joe, were you going to say something earlier?
No, I hadn't planned to, but I think what Baba was pointing out is that he wants us to draw a distinction between false masters and people who claim to be spiritually advanced, and that he wants to not give people things, but take things from people to help them along their spiritual path. And I think he was drawing a distinction between those who would offer you to give you gifts and great things in life. Baba is going to give you what you need to move along the spiritual path.
Yeah, great. So that's just a little bit on that. And I wanted to, I guess the bigger topic is one of the other topics that I wanted to definitely cover today is the importance of this time, right, between September 11th and September 30th. And then there was the 3 incredible weeks that they had where many, like about 20 Western disciples were invited for 3 incredible weeks with Baba. And in that time span, he ended up giving a lot of information, right? And there was definitely on the September 12th, he talked about Meher Baba's call. There's this whole information about it, and then how to love God, right? How many of you guys know how to love God prayer or the I guess do you guys know that one?
Is that a book?
It's not a book, but it's Baba Says How to Love God. We can read that. Then on September 21st, he talked about Sahaj Dhyan. And then on the 30th was Baba's final declaration, right? And also this was one of, if I'm not mistaken, one of the biggest gatherings, right? One of the last biggest gatherings, right? At least that's what it said in the book. So if I'm misquoting, I apologize. So Sahana, since you talked about how to love God, we can quickly touch upon it. And then there were many people who went to this, 3 incredible weeks from all over the world, right? Australia, America, I believe England, and many other places from the West. But we can quickly read this, and then we can move on. So Sahana, would you like to read, please?
My throat is a bit weird because
you can read a little bit. That's okay, and then we'll have the next slide read by Srinidhi.
Okay. How much? How much do you want me to read? To what paragraph?
You can read until whenever, and then you can ask somebody else to take up.
Okay. So I know how to read this, but I'm not really good at reading aloud.
It's okay. Nobody's going to judge you.
Because I don't like embarrassing myself. Okay. Well, let me just get a sip of water.
Okay. Maybe, do you want to? Okay.
I think, can I pass on this one?
Okay. Well, how about this? Srinidhi, you want to start and then she can pick up the next one?
Sure. How to love God. Part 1 of message given by Meher Baba on 12 September 1954. If you were to ask me why I do not speak, I would say I am not silent, and that I speak more eloquently through gestures in the alphabet board. If you were to ask me why I do not talk, I would say mostly for 3 reasons. Firstly, I feel that through all of you I am talking eternally. Secondly, to relive the boredom of talking incessantly through your forms, I keep silence in my personal physical form. And thirdly, because all talk in itself is idle talk. Lectures, messages, statements, discourses of any kind, spiritual or otherwise, imparted through utterances or writings, is just idle talk when not acted upon or lived up to. If you were to ask when I will break my silence, I would say when I feel like uttering the only real word that was spoken in the beginningless beginning, as that word alone is worth uttering. The time for the breaking of my outward silence to utter that word is very near. When a person tells others, "Be good," he conveys to his hearers the feelings that he is good, and they are not. When he says, "Be brave, honest, and pure," he conveys to his hearers the feeling that the speaker himself is all that, while they are cowards, dishonest, and clean.
Okay, so this is, sorry, I clicked. Okay, so this is Baba continuing on how to love God. Do you want to continue?
Sure.
Okay.
To love God in the most practical way is to love our fellow beings. If we feel for others in the same way as we feel for our own dear ones, we love God. If, instead of seeing faults in others, we look within ourselves, we are loving God. If instead of robbing others to help ourselves, we rob ourselves to help others, we're loving God. If we suffer in the suffering of others and feel happy in the happiness of others, we are loving God. If instead of worrying over our own misfortunes, we think of ourselves more fortunate than many, many others, we are loving God. If we endure our lot with patience and contentment, accepting it as His will, we are loving God. If we understand and feel that the greatest act of devotion in worship to God is not to hurt or harm any of His beings, we are loving God. To love God as He ought to be loved, we must live for God and die for God, knowing that the goal of our life is to love God and find Him as our own self.
Awesome. Thank you. So what do you guys think of this? I mean, this is also such a beautiful, it's one of my favorite, Baba. I think one of the first things that when I first came to Baba, read this and I just felt so connected with it. What do you guys think, Sahana? And I see that Madhu is also here. So Jai Baba. So do you think you guys do this on a daily basis?
Sorry, I was watching it on my television, so I had to come here. But great, we're enjoying the program. Thank you.
Oh, sure, you're welcome. Yeah. So you guys feel free to join at any time. Turn on your video so we can see your beautiful faces. But yeah. So what do you guys think of this? Do you think that are you successful in doing this? In your lives? Shirin, I see your head shaking no. It's hard, right? Do you want to share anything?
Yeah, it's hard to follow all this stuff because we're mostly focused on ourselves. We don't really notice, get a hold of this notice of all this other stuff and caring about others. It says here, instead of robbing others to help ourselves, we rob others to help ourselves to help others. So we don't do this much. We're not aware of doing this as much because I don't know.
Yeah. And even when you do help others, at some point you feel, especially when you're tired or whatever, you're like, oh, okay, I want somebody to help me now, right? We all get that feeling. Yes, Sahana, go ahead.
Yeah.
Kind of like the have and have not page we did.
What is that?
Kind of like the have and have not page.
Yeah, have and have not. Okay. What about the have
Like
and have not?
like the page where you flip it and you put a 30-second timer.
Okay. So do you want to explain that to everybody else? I don't think they know what have and have not pages.
Okay. So it's a piece of paper. You could fold it, but what you do is take pen, pencil, marker, whatever, a writing thing, and then you draw a line. Hold on, 1 minute. Let's see sticking it. Okay. So what you do is.
So what is the point of have and have not? Maybe you should just explain that.
Okay. The point of it is it's just to see, like, so your list of have has to be bigger than your have not. It has to be. Otherwise, if your list of have not is bigger than your have, then you're very selfish and greedy and arrogant, and you don't like to share.
I did not know that. So the idea, I guess, is you have a list of what you have in your life and what you don't have in your life, right? And make a list of that, which I think we did that last week sometime, just as an exercise, just to see, you know, how we can be grateful in life, because to your point, there's a lot in here where it talks about, you know, if you keep worrying about the misfortunes that you have, but if you just make a list of what you have in your life and what you don't have in your life, it's probably easier to make a list of what you have, what you don't have. So maybe we can all do this offline, and then when we meet next time, we can see what all we put in and shared with one another. What do you think, Sahana?
Yeah, we should do that.
And just give yourself less than a minute to make that list for each side. You trust me, it's harder to write have nots than haves. So anyway, but what about Srinidhi and Shrinika? What did you guys think when you read this?
Well, it's telling us to be selfless and like think more of others, because God's like in others too. Like God's in all shape and form.
Yeah.
And so if you help God like in another form, you're basically living like helping God if you help others.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Okay. Well, you know, thank you guys for reading this. I know we have our wonderful guests here who are going to be talking a little bit more about the 3 incredible weeks, and particularly Darwin Shaw, who was who had been there. So I'll open up the floor, and in the meantime, while they're giving you information, I'll try to look up some pictures, which I had for you guys, and then you can kind of put some faces to the names, etc. Yeah. Okay, so Joe, Bobby, who would like to go first?
Bobby.
You're on mute, Bobby. You're on mute.
Why don't you decide the order of, like, what order you want to go in, like in terms of time, like of what happened when, and did you, I mean, if you want to go to Sahashyan, I can do that.
It does, it's fine. I mean, I think at this point we're open.
Is there something to read? One of the children, someone can read that part if you had something on
about Sahajtiyan? Sure, I can share that. That's not a problem. I actually have it. All right. Okay. Meher, would you like to read this time?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. When you remember me, you're in Sahaj Dunya, God's company or prison. The question is how to remember me. The easiest and surest way to do as I tell you. It will be somewhat of a task at first, as when you start to run, you feel it too much. But when you are in training, you feel the sahaj. At first, you will have to do it deliberately. Then it will become natural. There are 4 quarters of the day. There are 4 divisions in the man's physical state: childhood, youth, maturity, old age. And there are 4 quarters that Kabir calls the signposts. The first thing in the morning when you get up before doing anything, think of Baba for 1 second. Baba is then worn by your soul. Early in the morning, thus of your soul with Baba. At 12 noon, for 1 second, you do the same. Do it again about 5 o'clock. When you return, do it also. I never asked anybody to do this, not even the Mandali. If you do it, I'll always be with you, and you will feel my company all the time. Do it for 4 seconds every day. Then you will be in the world. Yet Baba will be with you all the time. This is the beginning of Sahaj Dinyan.
Thank you, Meher. Did that make sense? All right, Bobby. Do you want to talk a little bit about it?
Sure. There's another paragraph that I thought was really good about. Baba related this to breathing, that it's such a natural process. It's like breathing. So it says, you have asked and now you must do it. It only takes 4 seconds altogether. It's most practical. Being in the world, doing everything, attending to all duties, and yet to have Baba with you all the time, like you're breathing. This is the beginning of Sahaj Dhyan. My loyal one who does this honestly will automatically be keeping me with him in thought. This is the beginning of Sahaj Dhyan. When you do this, first you'll think it difficult. Once a habit is formed, it will become automatic. And then Darwin, in his book, As Only God Can Love, adds this. This practice of natural or spontaneous meditation is one I have been doing and sharing with others ever since. In following Baba's instructions of clothing myself with his being, not his form, but who he really is, I find that it helps to think of Baba with love each time, remembering that he said he would always be with us if we do this. So when I was going to Darwin and Jane's meetings in the 70s, that's something that Darwin would talk about. The practice of Sahaj Dhyan, dress your soul with Baba. So he heard it from Baba, and then he shared it with us, with different people. And so then I got inspired to write a song called Sahaj Dhyan, Dress Your Soul. So I've been able to share it further with the song. So unless you have any questions, I'd be happy to share that song with you. And I do have to say, it's really interesting how, like, during the day, for me, it's easy to remember in the morning, like start off the morning, dress my soul with Baba. And then in the evening, I remember dress my soul. And then 12 and 5, funny things happen. Sometimes I look at the clock, it's exactly 12. But other times, it's like, say, 5 of, and I go, oh, it's almost time. And then the next thing I know, it's after 12. So I'm not always right on the dot. But it's kind of like Baba really gave this just so that we'll, like Darwin would say, it's just so that we'll be thinking about him more and more. Even if we don't do it perfectly, we're thinking like, oh, I want to remember Baba, at 12, or I want to remember at 5. And so it is natural. And that's another thing about this practice, is that Baba, instead of having us sit and meditate, which is not bad, I mean, he gave discourses on that, This is a natural meditation, so it's throughout the day in your life. You're not having to go off somewhere with this practice and think of him. It's in your everyday life at school or at work or at play. It's just it's very, very natural, you know. So anyway, that's what I wanted to say. But anyone have any questions, or otherwise I'll start the song.
Original sound.
Pardon? Oh, I did. I remembered. I think because you're here, I remember the original sound. When you rise in the morning and before you go to sleep, at 12 noon and at 5 p.m., there's a practice you can keep. It's easy and it's comforting, so listen to what I say. Put Baba on just like a cloak and have a happy day. What you do is dress your soul with Baba, dress your soul with Baba, dress your soul with Meher Baba, dress your soul with Baba, dress your soul with Baba, dress your soul with Meher Baba. 4 special times a day, morning, noon, night, and 5. This is what can help you to keep your fervor alive. You'll look forward to thinking of him while taking each short break. Soon you're dressed in love all day and living for his sake. What you do is dress your soul with Baba, dress your soul with Baba, dress your soul with Meher Baba, dress your soul with Baba, dress your soul with Baba. And you know what else? Dress your soul with Meher Baba. Now the next part is a fill in the blanks. Let's see if you're paying attention. When you rise in the morning, what do? You dress your soul with Baba. Then soon at noon, dress your soul with Baba. Then again at 5 p.m., dress your soul with Baba. And as you head into your bed, dress your soul with Baba. Join me. Dress your soul with Baba. Dress your soul with Baba. Dress your soul with Meher Baba. Dress your soul with Baba. Dress your soul with Baba. Dress your soul with Meher Baba. Do 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 do.
That was beautiful, Bobby.
Oh,
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I just wanted to quickly share a picture of Darwin Shaw.
Oh, yes.
Can you guys see?
Yep.
I wonder if there's a better one. So that's Darwin, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And you know, he wanted nothing more in a way that just for everyone to feel Baba's love through, you know, he just wanted us to feel Baba's grace and love. And yeah.
Thank you, Bobby. Does anybody have any questions, comments? So 4 times a day, right? So what are the times? Does anyone remember? Shrinika. Yeah, Sahana, go ahead. What were you saying?
I think one of them was 12, another one was 5.
Yeah. What are the other 2 times? Shrinika? Do you remember?
To like at the morning, at least for 1 second, you have to like remember Baba.
And what is the other time?
At night.
Yeah. So 4 times. So only 4 seconds, right? That's what Baba said. If you remember me for 4 seconds, that's all we need to do. So do you want to sum it all up again? So you said morning, and then what other times?
The afternoon. And
Somebody want to help her out?
It's the morning, then 12, then 5, then 9.
Yep. There we go. That's a beautiful song, Bobby. What a beautiful song. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're 2 minutes from 5.
I know.
Oh yeah, right.
I know. I was just thinking that when Bobby was singing, Kathy. All right.
Bobby, I like that song more and more as the years go by. I appreciate it more.
When did you write this song, Bobby?
Oh wow. It says here 1992, but no, I think that's when I recorded it. I think it was probably in the late 70s.
Okay.
Yeah, or maybe mid 70s. No, probably actually probably early 70s, because I got so inspired at Darwin's meetings. It was just such an atmosphere of love, and people would play music. We'd always have afterwards, people would sing.
Do you have any special stories from him regarding the 3 incredible weeks that he spent, besides from your interactions? Any one of you guys?
Joe, wasn't your story your songs?
Yeah, Darwin describing being in the presence of Mayor Baba during the 3 incredible weeks. And as a result of that interaction, he penned a poem. And the first time I heard that was in Schenectady in one of his meetings. And when I first heard him describe that, he made you feel like you were there. And I felt at that moment that I wanted to put that to music. And I really was not a songwriter, but I just felt really inspired to do that. And so I did. I went home and wrote a melody for that song. But I'd like to read something from his book. And he describes what he was experiencing when he was with Baba. This is on September 23rd. On the afternoon of September 23rd, we Westerners and some of the Eastern Mandali gathered with Baba in a large room at Upper Mehrabad, where he had been meeting with him nearly every day. But this afternoon seemed different and unusual, and it was a warm, sunny day, and there was a gentle breeze blowing, or rather sighing, through the windows high in the walls. Baba sat on a small sofa facing us as we sat comfortably in chairs in a circle around him. Despite the natural rustling of the wind, there was a deep inner stillness in the atmosphere. Baba's beauty was breathtaking, and his love for us was so tangible that we were quite literally permeated through and through, as though the whole room became love's sanctuary. In retrospect, it seemed as though our divine beloved felt that there was no further need for discourses, music, or games. It was a time for love alone to fulfill the deepest longing of every heart there. I gazed at Baba, transfixed with the beauty of his love, and my love for him deepened into adoration. That as I watched the intoxication of astonishment Veil after veil fell away from his lovely face, and I was able to journey into a kingly being. As I did so, more and more of his real self was revealed. There was nothing there but love, an immeasurable beyond of pure, warm, glowing love. His eyes, ordinarily very beautiful, became open windows of heavenly beauty, and I saw through them an endless beyond of pure love, light, selfless sweetness, which completely melted the heart. It was love that, in some mysterious way, was intensely personal and at the same time infinite. As we continued sitting quietly with the beloved, there was no sound but a gentle breeze sighing through the windows. Baba smiled and pointed significantly toward the windows, but no one felt inclined to break the spell or make a comment. However, Baba himself began to speak to break the spell, and little by little, people began to leave. But before so, he asked, "Are you happy?" Some seemed unsure, others quite sure of how they felt. When he asked me, I replied, "Very happy, Baba." Shortly after that, he began to ask different ones, "What are you thinking?" Of course, he knew well what they were thinking. When he motioned to me, I was still spellbound with the wonder at what I had beheld. I could only reply, "Of you, Baba, you are all love." Through his grace, I had seen for myself. I knew it to be true. After a while, Baba lovingly embraced each one of us and then left. Most of the Westerners followed soon after, but there were two who were so intoxicated with Baba's love that they could not leave. One of the Eastern Mandali and myself. While still sitting there, I felt that I must try to capture on paper this precious experience with Baba, his redeeming, awakening divine love. It was then that I wrote the two verses that became later known as the Son of the Wind. Let the Son of the Wind ever remind you of my love. Let its soul-healing balm sigh through your being wherever you are. And know that I have loved you as only God can love. And be sure that I will love you thus throughout eternity. Know, beloved, that you are mine forever, that I have called you from the realm of illusion to caress you with love divine. So I'll play the song now. Listen to the wind, the son of the wind, son of the wind. Listen to the wind, the son of the wind, son of the wind. Let the son of the wind ever remind you of my love. Let its soul healing balm sigh through your being wherever you are, and know that I have loved you as only God can love, and be sure that I will love you thus throughout eternity. Let the son of the wind ever remind you of my love. Let its soul healing balm sigh through your being wherever you are, and know, beloved, that you are mine forever, that I've called you from the realm of illusion to caress you with love divine. Let the son of the wind ever remind you of my love. Let it so healing bound sigh through your being wherever you are, and know that I have loved you as only God can love, and know, beloved, that you are mine forever, that I've called you from the realm of illusion to caress you with love, love divine.
Beautiful.
It's
Jai
so
Baba.
beautiful.
Jai Baba.
Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Beautiful song. Beautiful song.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Very nice, Joe. Jai Baba.
Jai
Jai
Baba.
Baba.
I think, Joe, you really captured the feeling of that magical time in the music, which is a difficult thing to do. So I think Baba really inspired you on that song.
Yeah, all his doing.
Mhm. How often would you go to Darwin and Jean's house?
Well, you know, we lived, took a little while to drive there. I would say we would go, during the peak time, we would go like once a month. Yeah, we couldn't go every week. We all had jobs.
How
and
far
stuff.
is Schenectady from Buffalo?
I think it was about, I'm trying to remember, 4 hours maybe?
Wow,
Yeah.
that's quite a drive.
Yeah, we couldn't go every week, but I wish we could have been there every week. You know, it's funny how lately been connecting with so many people that were attending Baba's meetings, you know. Haven't, you know, seen him or talked to him for many years, and seems like that
Yeah.
connection, yeah.
Do you guys have any special stories? I did find a few pictures. Maybe while I share them with the group here, it'll inspire you to share any stories about, you know, Darwin. I mean, I know Jeff always talks to. I mean, he's almost like a very saintly figure, right? With all the, you know, I've been reading his Effort and Grace, and it's just beautiful. But yeah, I was just wondering if there's anything that, you know, you could share with all of us here. But these are some of the pictures that I was able to find online. Can you guys see? So that's Darwin there, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Was that everyone who like went, or was there like more people?
I think
Yeah.
this is everyone that went, right? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It was a pretty small group, really.
Yeah, about 20
But
people.
I imagined it to be a bit large. So there's like no women there, or just only for men?
I think it was only men, right, that were invited.
Only men. Mm-hmm.
Do they have like a women's one, or do they have like a gathering for it or something?
Baba had a women's gathering later, but not in 54. Shilpa, wasn't that in 55 that he had a women's meeting?
I'd have to search.
Yeah, I think he had 4 language groups in 55, and then he invited the women to come.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There is a film where Darwin's narrating.
Uh-huh.
What is that called? I don't remember what it's called, about the 3 incredible weeks.
Yeah. I actually found it online, but I don't know if we'll have enough time to run it.
No, I don't mean for today, but just that people can know about it, that they can watch it, you know, on their own.
Is that Meher Baba's Call?
That's it. Meher Baba's call, because he gave that also at that time. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's really long. That's a really long statement. That one.
Yeah. So,
What?
I mean, my idea was to kind of just introduce this to people. I mean, there's a whole book written about it, so I know it's hard to cover it all in an hour, but at least the highlights of it. So I'm really happy that you guys are here for that. Did you guys have any other question? Madhu, would you like to? I know this is your first time here, right, with the kids?
Yes, Shilpa, this is our first time. This is the first meeting we're attending.
That's awesome.
And
Would you be
it's
able to turn
wonderful.
on
I
your video
love this.
so we could see you guys at all?
Sorry, say that again.
Would you be able to turn on your video at all?
Probably could. I was listening.
So some housekeeping while Madhu turns on her video. Hello.
Hi. Baba.
And where do you guys live?
We live in Cary, North Carolina.
Awesome.
And really, Shilpa, Kathy is the one who made sure that I was connected to you.
Yes, absolutely. She reached out right away. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm so glad. We didn't know about this program, and we're so glad the work that you're doing. And I think it's wonderful to talk about these things with kids. And I didn't even know about the 3 Incredible Weeks. So I learned a lot. And I think the teaching Baba's, message of remembering Baba 4 times a day, that is wonderful for kids. So thank you so much for doing this. I really.
Where are your wonderful kids?
Oh, they are here, and we had put this on the TV. So we were watching it on TV, but I just hooked my phone off the connection. So they are here.
Can we say hello? I was so happy.
Just a second, yes.
In the barn recently.
So this is Anika.
Hi. Welcome.
Hi. Jai Baba.
And Anika, you're what grade?
I'm in 7th grade.
7th grade. Awesome. We have an 8th. Wait, Srinidhi, you're 8th grader now, right?
Sorry?
No, I'm saying Srinidhi is in 8th grade.
Srinidhi, yes. And we have a son, Ayush, and he was here a while ago, but then he had something, he had to go. But Ayush is a 10th grader.
Nice. So. Awesome. I know my son is missing today too. They're big kids. It's hard to get them all together. But I know we're at 5:15. Just a couple housekeeping. So we are doing the 1st and the 3rd Sunday of every month instead of every week that we used to do before, or monthly. I think it's just a little easier cadence. So the next one will be actually October 2nd that we'll be meeting. And I like to keep it a little interesting and going. So October 2nd also happens to be Gandhi's birthday. So what we've done before in the past, and I think this is great opportunity, the kids interact and then they'll, like do some things. So it'll be nice if we can maybe pair one of you kids up with someone else and maybe do a little presentation on Gandhi. And did you guys know that Gandhi met Meher Baba at least 3 times? Okay, first of all, does everybody know who Gandhi is? I think most of you do, right? Does Shrinika know who Gandhi is?
Do you know who Gandhi is? Yeah.
Yes, awesome. So Shrinika, how about I pair you up with somebody else and maybe you and this person can, do a little presentation on Gandhi. Do you guys want to do that? I think it'll be fun. It doesn't have to be too long. What do you guys think? No? Yes?
Like, I don't know the fact about Gandhi.
She's saying that she doesn't know anything about Gandhi.
That's okay. You have your sister there to help you and another person who can help you. So you don't have to do it alone. Do you remember when Sahana and Srinidhi did something? Guys, what did you guys, actually they interviewed Tom.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
That was wonderful. Trinity and Sahana, you did a great job.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I think it'll be fun to do that again. What do you guys think?
How do we bring Gandhi back so that they can
interview him?
Well, yeah, I guess.
Bobby, why don't you pretend to be Gandhi and let him interview you?
A little too much hair for that.
What about you, Joe? You can be Gandhi.
It was my idea, so I think Bobby should do it.
I'm also trying to see if we could get someone to come speak on that day. So fingers crossed. But in the meantime, I think it'll be fantastic to learn about Gandhi. I mean, I think, I know everyone called him a Mahatma, right? But not in that definition that we just read about, right? So you guys up for it? Will everybody be here October 2nd? I think this is, we have a small group, honestly. People come and go sometimes, but I think it'll be great to keep the interaction going. Anika, would you be interested in maybe pairing up with Srinidhi or Shrinika?
Yeah, sure.
Shilpa, Ayush and my son and daughter had done a little skit a while ago about Mahatma Gandhi. It was very short, but we probably still have the material for that. Would it be okay if Ayush and Anika present something about that little? It was about the salt satyagraha that Mahatma Gandhi had led.
Absolutely. Wow. Listen, we're all ears. And see, that's just one aspect of Gandhi, right? I think there's information also on other things. So absolutely.
So that'll be a very small part, only about the salt satyagraha, but they had actually performed something at one of the events locally, if that is okay.
We appreciate any talent that anyone wants to share.
Okay, sure.
And, the other thing isn't the Raghupati Raghava Rajaram? That would be a nice song for the kids to really sing along to, because isn't that part of India's national tradition?
Yeah.
That is actually one of the favorite bhajans of Mahatma Gandhi.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
I think this is fantastic. So what we can do, Madhu, is definitely have your kids present that part. I would still like, if Shrinika and Anika could, meet and maybe like do some spiel. It's totally how you guys want to do it. It's totally up to, I think we've had pretty much every kid here do a collaboration with someone else. And I mean, they've floored us in the past. So we're excited. What I will do, Srinidhi, if you can give your email address and put it in the chat. This way I'll connect you guys. In fact, Madhu, you guys are all on the WhatsApp group. Yes. So you'll have the connection, contact information there. I think that's a good idea. Sure. But no, this is great. I really had a great, I think this is a great start for our Tween Sahavas. I hope you guys all enjoyed yourselves. Any other things you want to share? Bobby, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. It's wonderful to be here with you, all of you. Kathy and I are hosting that May Her Marvels this Saturday at 2:30 on Zoom. And it will just be children's music, just like we did last time. So May Her Marvels 2. And you're welcome to come to it and join us. Hopefully it can reach that again.
Did everybody hear Bobby? It was a little off for some reason, Bobby.
Oh, you can't hear me?
It's a little better now.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's funny, my iPad's kind of running away from me, like it keeps moving. Kathy, why don't you talk about it just a sec? Why don't you share? Maybe you'll be able to explain.
I think we were inspired because Kitty used to have inspired the local community here years ago to have the Mayhair miniatures and the Mayhair minors. One was the younger kids and one was the older kids, and years of these gatherings, and the kids, now adults with kids of their own, remembered those gatherings with fondness. So Bobby and I decided it would be nice to, do more online with music and kids.
And this is going to be on Baba Zoom, right, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So September 24th, 2:30.
Yeah.
And do you want kids to sing, dance, whatever?
And if you don't have anything, just come anyway. You know what I mean? If just come to enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Hannah, that was fun last time, how you did that guess this tune.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You want to do that again? That was really fun.
I can't find my kazoo.
I think we're
lost her recorder.
No, it's a kazoo.
Oh, kazoo, my bad.
That from school.
I'm clearly not the musician in the house.
And I know that Shireen and Mayhair play instruments. That would be fun to hear them.
If you guys are available, I mean, Srinidhi, we've never seen you play the veena.
Oh wow.
Oh. Well, I don't know any like Meher Baba songs in the veena.
That's okay. What about your flute? She plays so beautifully, Kathy.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
you
know,
excellent flute. Wait, what time is it?
Like next Saturday. Is it
Kathy,
Saturday at 2:30?
2:30. So 12:30. Okay.
Yeah, 12:30 your time.
2:30.
Well, what's the instrument that you play?
I play the flute.
Oh, but what was the Indian instrument too?
Well, I play the bamboo flute. And I play the veena. Yeah.
What does the veena look like again?
It's like,
it kind of looks like the sitar, but not really. It has a bigger. You know what? I'm gonna show you a picture while we're here.
Maybe you could just read something before you play, like Baba quote or something to tie it into your song. Might be a way to do it.
Thank you, Kathy. Shireen,
Kathy, that's a veena right there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks everyone. Appreciate you guys all being here. We need to have our guests back. I think it'd be great to have you, like Bobby and Joe and Kathy, individually come and share your Baba stories. I know we had a particular theme today, but how do you came to Baba, all those beautiful interactions you've had with Mandali, and I know you guys had a lot of a rich history. So it'd be wonderful to have you guys all over here and share. And I think we had a fantastic start. So thank you, Baba, for having this today. And I really appreciate everyone, coming here.
Thank you, Shilpa.
Thank you.
Thank you, Baba.
Wonderful.
You know what? We're actually ending before 5:30. We usually go into 5:30 and take over Jeff's meeting.
Shilpa, it's a great thing. Restart is very good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is very good.
Madhu, wonderful to see
Jai
you.
Baba.
I'll connect you guys. So September 24th, and then the next meeting is October 2nd. Same time.
Okay.
Jai Baba.
Bye. Jai Baba, everyone. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Great job, Shilpa.
Jai Baba.